Yes, people, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. How are you guys doing? We are in for Mikel Arteta's press conference reaction. Arsenal up against Southampton in the FA Cup. One of those matches that aren't going to be easy by the fact that we have Southampton in back-to-back games this week. We have them in the Premier League, but first we shall have to play them in the FA Cup. We're going to be seeing what Mikel Arteta did say in his in his press conference. He talked about so many things. Martin Odegaard. He talked about the phase 2 in transfers. He said we have completed phase 1, which is basically driving out players. We did talk about phase 2, which must be the incomings, and of course that is very exciting. We'll be looking at that. But he talked about a couple of other things. Sokratis leaving the club. He talked about the player or the party that has been leaking information out of Arsenal. He did talk about that as well. And he said that now he has an idea. Who could it be? We're going to be discussing that and more. I'll be reacting to his press conference, as well as giving my commentary, opinions, and I want to see what he said. I want us to share what he said, especially about how important the Southampton game is, because for me, I've already said it this season. If there is anything Arsenal is going to win, it is the FA Cup. But is it that important? Is it that is it that important that we have to sacrifice the Premier League game? So we're gonna be looking at that. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are moving so fast to 19,000 subscribers by the end of this week. At least we should be at the end of the road. And then, of course, make no mistake, let us make sure that we are commenting. Tell me what you think about Arsenal up against Southampton. Do you think it's a winnable fixture? Do you think it's an easy draw in the FA Cup? After that, then we shall play them. It will be on Tuesday when we take them on in the Premier League. Again, I'll come with a press conference, reaction, and of course everything. So make no mistake, I'm here for you. Let us just run down into Mikel Arteta's press conference and see what he did talk about. What did he actually, talk about in his press conference? That is all what we are going to see. So, of course, he started he started talking on a couple of things, starting on the leaks on the club, and he was asked that a couple of months ago you said you were trying to find out who was leaking information at the club. Were you ever successful with that? And he said, I have a sort of an idea. Yes. Now, it's gonna be interesting because now we have a couple of players have left. Saliba has left, Sid Kolasinac has left, Mesut Ozil has left, and then Sokratis Papastopoulos has also left. So I don't know whether this person who has been leaking facts and information is among the group of people who left, or is actually among the group of people who are still at the club. But it would be very interesting if we knew this person. But this is very good by Mikel Arteta. You don't come out and throw players or staff under the bus in the media, because you know how hungry the media are. They always want something. They always want something to put their teeth into. And as soon as you say, yeah, we know the person, it is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, that's really, 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 ridiculous. They're going to scavenge that person. And I really like the idea that he didn't come out and, say the name of the person. Probably they will handle that internally. I absolutely do agree with that. Mikel Arteta on Sokratis, he said, first of all, I want to thank him because he's such a professional and a great person to work with. It's a shame because this season we have a lot of central defenders. We are overloaded with foreign players, and I have to make a decision. It was a tough one, though. To be fair, he took it really well. He's always been really supportive and helpful. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish him the best. It's been a pleasure to work with him, and I wish him the best for him and his family. That is on Sokratis. Of course, if you do not know, I did do that story yesterday at night, and I said Sokratis did cancel or came to an agreement with Arsenal to cancel his contract to move on from Arsenal as a free agent. Now he can join any other club he wants. A couple of other clubs are interested. Real Betis is interested, and a couple of other other clubs are interested. So all we can say is big up our man, big up farewell. Like Mikel Arteta said, he was such a professional. You didn't see him come out and post trash and nonsense like a kid. He was always that calm. He was always he was always that kind of player who believed that he's out of the squad maybe because of because of his demerits and so on. And finally, he has left us. Mikel Arteta did comment on that as well, on whether Balogun has signed for another club, and Mikel Arteta said, as far as I know, no. So Balogun has not yet signed for another contract, according to Mikel Arteta's knowledge. But of course, it could be something that we think about and like, is he telling the truth? Or he wants to keep the fans a little bit happy ahead of the game, because we know many fans really like Balogun, including me. I've already said it on this channel, and I'll say it again, day in, day out. I like Balogun. I want him to stay at the club. I always think keeping the young players, keeping this, the young strikers like Balogun is a good move. We let Gnabry go to Bayern, and you saw what happened. So I would love Balogun to stay, but Mikel Arteta says he has not signed for another team as well as yet. So let us wait and see on what was going to come out of that. Arteta on why Balogun hasn't been in squads recently. And he said because of the competition that we have in front positions, that's why he has not been playing recently. And he says and because there are other players that haven't had many minutes and they are played in the FA Cup. It takes time. We have to respect the pathway. Eddie as well is not playing a lot recently as well, and he is in front of him at the moment. So we have to be calm and respectful. And I think I do agree with Mikel Arteta on this. However much we want Balogun to play, however much we believe Balogun might be better than Eddie Nketiah, I think Eddie is ahead of Balogun right now, not because not because he's so prolific, not because of anything, but I think he has earned it. He's where he is because of the merits. We have seen Eddie score some goals on a couple of occasions. He's a very good box striker. He's been there for us. He's been out on loan, scored a couple of goals, and then he came back at the club and tried to to prove his worth. I don't think there there is a big run. Eddie has scored 5-6 games and he has disappointed Arsenal fans. I don't think that has really happened. So and I think it's a little bit unfair for us to come out here and criticize Eddie and so much. Yes and no, he might not be that kind of striker that we want. He might not be that kind of striker that Arsenal need. He might not be that kind of striker that is going to become the next Daniel Henry or become the next Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Probably Arsenal is gonna cash in on him or one day or the other for 20-25 million. But again, you have to respect him. You have to respect the fact that he's been there and Balogun has not been there. He has achieved more than Balogun. He's played more games on international level in England, and he's been very, very consistent at Arsenal. Yes, I understand Balogun has played a few games and it's been very good, brilliant. He deserves the chance, but it doesn't really mean that we need to push away Eddie and then bring in Balogun. It's just disrespectful. So Mikel Arteta says Balogun has not been getting games because of the competition of front positions, and you do agree with that. Gabriel Martinelli, Balogun is not better than Martinelli. He's not better than Saka. He's not better than Lacazette, and he's not better than Lacazette, and he's not better than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So I do agree on that. But still, he needs to get some playing time. The only thing I do not agree with Mikel is such a young player. If you see that he's desperate for game time, give it to him. Try to give him some game time. That's why I do not agree with him, but I think his statement is absolutely true. And of course, still talking about Balogun, he said, no, if anything, regarding his contractual situation with the club, I just want to convince him he has a future with the club, not sending the opposite message. Before he was in training with the first team, we changed that. He's showing real hunger and desire to be with us. We are trying to get something done because we want him to stay. We have to go step by step. I think he's made some big steps in the last few months where he wasn't even training, and then he had a few good games for us. So the steps are there, and we want to try to keep him at the club. That's Mikel Arteta speaking about the man himself, man like Florian Balogun. Speaking about the option of signing a left back, which I think should be one of the priorities of Arsenal. whether in this or in the next transfer window, we should get a backup left back, and we should get a good right back. We should get a good midfielder, a creative midfielder, actually two creative midfielders, and we need to get a striker. We need to work on so many positions. But when he was talking about the option of getting a left back, he said with the departure of Kola, we are a little bit short of a left-footed fullback at the moment. We can use Ainsley there. We can use Bukayo there. We can use Cedric, who is played in the position. We have some options, but natural option to Kian, obviously we do not, but we cannot. But we can adapt. That is what he was actually talking about. Does that mean you are looking to for a left back? And say that means that the option is open. We will be looking to see what is available. But I don't think Arsenal is going to go out there and get a left back, a backup left back for Kian. In the January transfer window. I don't think it is a priority. It's an area of priority, but I don't see Arsenal do that. I think it might be in the summer where we go out there and bring someone like who. I even don't know. I even don't know who could actually bring in as a backup left back. But I don't see Arsenal go there in January and get someone there in the left back position. I don't see that happen unless things do change. On Cedric, he said, well, yes, since he joined us, he has had various injuries and some difficult times. It took him a bit of time to adapt to get completely free, and now the chances to play. The best thing with Cedric is the way he takes his profession and the way he trains, the way he prepares himself. So every time we had to use him, he was always ready. He's always fit to compete, even when not playing for many parts of the season. When he had to play 120 minutes, he was completely ready. And the other night, I think he had really a good game. Well, that's a lie. I think Cedric against in the last game we played against Newcastle, Cedric was not good. I mean, he had an assist. That is the only positive thing I saw. He was a little bit okay, defensively solid, but no, I was not impressed with his performance. I was not really impressed. I was shocked he was giving away, balls like that. I was really shocked. I thought he was a more stronger, boy, defensive wise, but I was not impressed. I was not really impressed. But Mikel Arteta says the player had a good game. The manager knows better. Shouldn't we say that? Arteta on a contract for Emile Smith-Rowe, and he said, let's go step by step. Emily has done very well. He deserves a chance. He's taking it and grabbing it with both hands in really a convincing way. So let him be. Things will come naturally. And I think, this is all true, but we need to think about Emile Smith-Rowe's contract very soon. Look, if this guy goes into 1 year left on his contract that extending it, this is gonna be the same bullshit, the same crap, the same rubbish we've been in, losing players like Ramsey, and there is no reason as to why we lost Ramsey on a free deal. Why even wait for his contract to run down in the last year? I mean, those mistakes. I think this is the time when Emile Smith-Rowe needs to get a contract. I think it's the time. If maybe I'm thinking wrong, but for me, I think it's the time. On Odegaard, he says, sorry, but I cannot comment about players that play for different clubs. And he said for Mesut Ozil, he did say that he's a great footballer and he's really talented footballer. He's a player that has done a lot for the football club. But at the moment, I want to take the team in a different direction. If we had more options, maybe he was part of some plans. That is according to Mesut Ozil. On the halfway season review, he did say after Monday night's game against Newcastle, Arsenal are 19 matches into the Premier League season, exactly halfway in it. It seems like perfect time for a half-season review. And they Kaya Kainak has been looking at the best player was signing, although you can probably guess that one. Best performance and much more from the Gunners campaign so far. So we'll be looking at that. I don't think I'll do the halfway season review. It has been absolutely absolutely so bad. Arsenal fans react to Martin Odegaard rumors. More on that Odegaard stories, and Arsenal fans have been reacting on social media. Never once for understatement. It's fair to say Gunners the world over are pretty excited about the prospect of the Norwegian coming to the Emirates Stadium. Team news, are we expecting to hear updates on fitness of a few key players today, namely Pablo Mari and Dani Ceballos? Arsenal revealed that both Spaniards are doubts in this weekend's match against Southampton. Odegaard's incoming things then got even more exciting as the news broke that Gunners have made an approach to Real Madrid to take Martin Odegaard on loan for the rest of the season. The number 10 has hardly played this year and is looking to get first in football away from the Santiago Bernabeu. Transfer talk. It was busy days of transfers for Arsenal yesterday as club confirmed Football on London's exclusive report that Sokratis will be leaving on a free after reaching an agreement to terminate his contract ahead of schedule. So that is the boss's press conference. I hope you guys picked something out of it. I did. I did pick something out of it. I think it was really exciting, wasn't it? Speaking about so many things, and Martin Odegaard, of course, he didn't speak much about him, but like we would have wanted or we would have expected. But like I said, we in the second phase of transfers, and of course the first phase was laying out a plan of letting players go. Now the second phase is bringing in players. Let us pray that Arsenal will never let us down, and they will sign in more players. My name is Kosi, and I'll be letting you go. I promise to speak to you very, very soon.